In this video, I will be showing you 3 major mistakes that a lot of players do when they just start to play chess, so that you could solve them and level up a lot faster. For example, the mistakes, all these 3, I've made them actually, so I'll show you also how to solve them, so that you could level up faster from beginner to intermediate. I'm currently at a level of 1650, so you could solve them and level up much faster than I did. Let's start with a very simple thing. So this is a game that I played when I just started to play chess. I was 800, to be more precise, 756, but I would soon level up to 800 very quickly. So in this position that I'm gonna show you right now, I had a very big problem. I had no idea what an opening is. I didn't even know that there is such a term called the opening. I still managed to win, but because I played kind of principled here, but it would have been a lot easier for me to win if I just played with what is called opening principles. So I'm gonna show you this right now. Not with just opening principles, but also with a clear, detailed, and planned before opening. It would have been a lot easier for me to play this and to win. So it starts like this. It was the Vienna. It was e4, e5, knight c3, knight f6, and after pawn to d3. This is basically where the plans end. So something that I want to give you from this video is, if you're just starting to play chess and you look at this looks very good, but as we are going to continue here, you're gonna see that the opening pretty much ends, and so neither side really has a plan for what to do in the game itself. I did end up winning this game, but it would have been a lot easier for me to win, and even for my opponent, he could have won this if either of us just had an opening which is clear from the beginning. If I would have just started to play, let's say, the French here or something else, it would have just been easier for me to play. So if you're a beginner right now, pause the video, go and find 2 openings, one for white, one for black, that is easy for you to remember. I can suggest you, for an example, the French defense, and let's say the Italian game. It's very easy to learn these 2. Learn them until when you feel like you're very experienced with them. So just like learn these 2 openings, play a bunch of games with them, and now you're going to have a plan for what you're going to do in the game itself. Whenever it starts, it will be a lot easier for you to win. Let me give you an example for this. So a few moves after, what white had done to me is he played a bishop to g5. Wait, after this, yeah, right now he played bishop to g5. Here it is. And then what I've done myself is queen to e7. The idea behind that is I could try maybe in the future get here and either check the king, take this knight, or take this pawn, something along those lines. And what happened then is that he took my knight. Okay, he had done a bishop takes on f6. This is a mistake. Computer thinks that this is a mistake because now you can just check, take, and then go here. Okay, let me show you. Check. Okay, he's gonna defend one way or another, and now you can just take. Okay, you can just take. So little things like this, they really affect your game, and this entire sequence of moves would have never happened where I'm just going to, after a few moves, win something, win a pawn, which is something that you need to really think about. Pawns, when you're just starting, you're thinking of them as minor things and that they are not important. So I want to remove this from your mind, that they're just minor things and they are not important. They are. Me, when I just started, I had this problem where I would think that pawns aren't, if you're losing them, it's not that much of a big deal. It is, because while they are just pawns, at the middle game and at the end game, they really matter for you. So, right now, just think to yourself and learn one opening as black and one opening as white. It's very simple, you can do it, and you need to do this so that it will be easier for you to win and level up to higher levels from beginner and to 1000, 1200 and above that. The second and largest issue that a lot of beginners have when they just start, it's just that they make instant blunders. I will show you this right now. Well, it is basically when you're making a move, and after you make the move, your opponent does something and you realize like that this is an absolute and utter mistake. Let me show you this here. So let's say, for an example, your opponent does something which is inaccuracy, but he does this in this game. This is a game of real beginner players. He does queen to h3, and now white does a blunder. He does a castle long, okay, castle to c1, and now you're just losing this bishop, okay. You need to avoid this. If you're gonna notice, this is a mistake actually that you probably are doing, and a lot of beginners do. I've done this a lot, and so we're gonna solve this right now together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get to you 3 questions that you're gonna ask yourself before every move that you make, and this is important so that you will actually prevent such things, and you could also start seeing a little bit more into the future. You could see things that your opponent is doing over the whole board, because here you were also very much focused on somewhere else if you played like this. So the first question before making a move is there anything that can be captured? The second one is my king safe? And the third one is, what can be under threat? Okay, these are 3 questions. Is there anything that can be captured? Is my king safe? Is there anything under threat? So, is the king safe? Yes, he's pretty much safe. Is there anything under threat? Not really. I mean, this bishop is relatively safe. Nothing really. This pawn is defended by the bishop. Again, nothing really seems under threat, but this bishop, and he also can be captured. So we need to take care of this first. And you're asking yourself these 3 questions whilst you're looking at the whole board. You cannot just focus on one place, because you're going to neglect another, and then you will do a blunder like, let's say in this position, long castle. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up with ideas for how to take care of this. You're gonna do something like let's say you're gonna do bishop to g4, threatening this queen, which is actually quite a good idea. You're gonna do things like that, and in this way you're gonna solve out a lot of blunders and mistakes that beginners commit. You're gonna play a lot more accurate. So something that you can do right now as a beginner is just go to the software that you're playing chess in and you're doing puzzles in. I do them on chess.com. It's just do a bunch of puzzles, analyze them, and most puzzles, when you're just starting, they're just your opponent does a huge blunder. So you could think, okay, what could the opponent have done in that situation? Kind of like train yourself to do this 3 question process better. And the other way to actually train this is just play loads of games, and actively before each move ask yourself this. So the first 2 solutions to the 3 greatest and largest mistakes that beginners do, including me when I just started. I've done a lot of blunders like long castle in this position. So the first 2 solutions is, 1, ask yourself the 3 questions that we've just talked about. Is my king safe? Is there anything that can be captured? And is there anything under threat? And the second solution to the problem that we have talked about first, which is having no plan, is just learn an opening and be as good as you possibly can with it. learn a simple opening, let's say the French defense, the Vienna, the Caro-Kann, the London system, something like that, but just one, and be as good as you can with it. Let's now continue to the third big mistakes that a lot of beginners do. So the third mistake that a lot of beginners do when they just start to play chess is that they're playing without what is called opening principles. We just talked about an opening plan, which is, let's say for example, you're playing the French defense, you're playing the Vienna, you're playing the Italian, an opening. Now there is what is called opening principles, which is specifically for when you do not know what to do or you just want to play without an opening. So for opening principles, which is one of the key things that most beginners lack, and so a lot of mistakes are coming from this, is, let's say for an example you're playing the Italian, okay, you've just started to learn it, you're doing e4, f3, e4, like, let me show just a moment, e4, e5, f3, c6, and now c4. So let's assume now that your opponent does something that you have no idea how to prepare for. Let's say for an example he does I don't know, let's say he does d5. Okay, it's a little bit better for you, but let's assume that you have no idea how to deal with this. So now you're going to have to play according to opening principles, and when you're playing you will have a much easier time in positions that you know nothing about. So let's say for example here you have no idea what to do, you need to take, okay, but let's say for example you don't know this, then you're gonna play according to principles of the opening. So the third thing that you can do right now is just go to your computer and write down opening principles, and you'll find a video about this, learn from this, and then implement it into the first game that you're gonna play. It will be a lot easier for you. So right now go and do this. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will do my best to answer all of them, and I will see you in the next time. Subscribe for more information if you want to learn more from me, and also speed up your ELO leveling up as a chess beginner. Then you can subscribe and I will happily help you more. Bye bye, and I will see you next time.